Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you for answering. None of these questions are rhetorical. My name is James Moran, and I am a comedian and a writer, a theatre maker from Dublin. And you're here to see the show, the matinee of the Assassination of Pope Urban II. First of all, it's quite a heavy show. I don't know if you're involved in theatre, if you've been to a theatre before. It can be just a bit tricky, you know? So I thought maybe we could do an introductory bit and then move on to the play. Just so, you know, get your brain out of neutral into first gear. So I'm going to read to you from this book. It's called Jameen, an Irish children's classic. It's written by a man called Paul, and I don't know how to pronounce his second name. But it doesn't matter because he was born in Dingle, County Kerry, in 1883, and he died a short while later. And it doesn't matter if you know his name, because he went by the Hawk. So that's the nickname he gave himself. So I'm going to let you choose the title or the chapter that we're going to go through. I'm going to read it out, explain a few things, then we'll move on with the play. So you can choose the chapter. Chapter 1. They're not sequential. You know what I mean? So don't be like, oh, we got to go for chapter 1. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, if I go for chapter 2, it won't make any sense to me. It doesn't really follow on like that. Chapter 1, My Man. No. Chapter 2, Death to the Master.
Yes.
Nah. Chapter 6, The Wren. Okay. Chapter 6, The Wren. Does everyone know what a wren is? What?
Yes.
What? What is it? It's a bird, but it's another thing.
In Dingle.
What?
People play music on St. Stephen's Night.
Okay, that's enough. Some people know what it is, and some people will find it. Chapter 6, The Wren, in quotation marks. So I'm going to read it out. Is this mic on?
It's gone out.
No?
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Fine. That's fine. It's only the Fringe. Chapter 6, The Wren. Okay, I'm going to read it out. Okay, first note. It says here, I, right? That's not me. That's Jameen. That's the main character of the show. He's a young boy, grew up in Kerry. At the end of the book, he becomes a priest. And that was considered good fortune. When I had finished the dinner on Christmas Day, I went looking for Micheline Owen. Okay, so Jameen, little Jim, Micheline Owen, little Mickle. Owen. We spent a while skimming stones, and then we smoked a tobacco pipe. He's 9 years old. That Micheline had found lying idle in his father's pocket. A lot of Irish literature is very literary. There's a lot of metaphor, you know, it's colourful language. So it says here, lying idle, and that's theft. When all the tobacco was gone, so they smoked the whole thing, we wondered what we'd do next. We were thinking of things for ages, but not one of them was to our liking. In the end, we gave up completely. It was then the notion came into my mind. So here we have the first moral. A lot of these stories are morals, you know? Sometimes you can't think of anything to do, you're just sitting at home in bed all day, just lying on the ground, and it's just a deep depression. It's always darkest before dawn, you know what I mean? Can't think of anything to do, a notion will come into your mind. Do you know what, Micheline, said I? What, said he. We'll have the wren tomorrow. Okay, so some of you cottoned on to this, right? But some of you said the wren is a bird. And you guys were wrong. What is the wren? We'll find out together. You're quite lucky here, because you have someone here. In most theatre, people don't really stop and explain the story to you. You know what I mean? You're sort of expected to glean from context. So that's what we're going to do here. We'll have the wren tomorrow, said I. We will surely, said Micheline, his two eyes jumping out of his head, not literally. And I'll be the fool. Don't know what the fool is. Actually, it says right here. That's the fellow who has the bladder and hits everyone with it. And I'll be the captain, said I. And who'll be the old woman, said Micheline. That was a hard one. We thought about Koch and went to suggest it to her, and she flew into a rage. Why is she so annoyed? It's like they need an old woman. They go to her, she's 9 years old. She's like, I'm not an old woman yet. Come back to me in 45 years. We can think about that. Okay, on with the show. Welcome to the matinee of The Assassination of Pope Urban II. Written by James Moran, performed by James Moran and another person who'll tell you his own name. Performed on the 23rd of the 9th, 2017. Right. Now, I know it sounds like historical fiction, but it's actually a science fiction. And it takes place on this mad planet. So give me a minute. This is an insane, mad planet, right? There's you go to one area, there's like a lot of triangular buildings. Weird. You go to another, there's like a queen in a palace. You go to another, and there's like a island. It's divided in two. It's a shame. It's unjust. You go to a little village, Bruderstown. There's a bird sanctuary. It's lovely. And the trick is that it's Earth. There's Earth all along. And I guess that's one of the points, is that like Earth is so beautiful, it's so amazing. And you're all in here in this dark room, listening to me. It's like, why do you need this distraction when you can be out in the Earth? It's very juvenile, you know what I mean? It's like babies in a cradle. and a prologue. The way this play works is there's a prologue, which you just heard. Then there's Act 1, Act 2. Then there's a third act that's improvised. And then there's a bit of fun at the end. Normally in a Fringe show you'd have more than one actor. That's not the case today. Don't touch that. I'm going to set up different scenes and act them out. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you. From now on you don't need to respond. It gets old. Chapter 1, Act 1. It's a play. Act 1. A baby is born in a hospital. I'm going to read out bits, act out other bits. I'll signpost it along the way. Exterior hospital. Exterior Infinity Hospital. Hospitals are places where people become more intimately acquainted with their bodies. Infinity hospitals are places where an infinite number of people become more intimately acquainted with their bodies in an infinite series of permutations. So basically, you have this building, infinite number of rooms. It just goes from 1 to infinity. And in each room, there's a different but equally tragic thing happening behind every door. Because that's the thing, it's like a million guys have broken their arms and they all complain about it, you know what I mean? Camera enters the hospital. Interior, Infinity Hospital. Camera moves through the door doesn't necessarily open. Behind the door is a security desk and a welcome desk, and there's people making notes on pads. What's written on the pads? I don't know. There's something there though, it's an Easter egg. You have to buy the video and pause it to see. But it's something about chemtrails. The camera moves through A&E, looking around the place, and then it goes into this room in A&E, and there are like a whole range of like wacky guys, you know, funny looking people with amusing backstories. There's a pilot, right, and he has food poisoning. He's from airline food. He's like, oh, badly, what's the deal with airline food? There's a mummy. And then there's this guy who's bandaged up, and the mummy is hitting him. There's a vampire that's sunburnt. There's a woman with a horse-shaped bruise in her head like that. Like a horse-foot-shaped bruise. And then beside her, right, there's this horse standing on its back legs, using backdown technology. And it has a foot-shaped bruise in its head. There's a woman with no hair, and there's a woman with one long hair. So piled up. The camera moves past all these goons. Starts looking around the hospital, just keeps walking past people. That's because the camera isn't a character, you know? People don't, in the world of this film, people don't play. People don't see the camera, it's just a lens. Camera looks around the hospital, goes into 1 or 2 rooms. So here's where the acting really begins. In these rooms there are doctors and patients. I'm going to play both. Room 1.1. Doctor, you're going to get that new brain. Patient, oh thank God I have a family. Room 1.2. Doctor, I am a death panel doctor. The failure of your life rests in my hands. Dramatic pause. It's like the X Factor. You're gonna live. We're gonna get you that brain. Room 1.3. Doctor, I am a death panel doctor. The failure of your life rests in my hands. You're gonna live. Patient, thank God. Doctor, don't thank God. Thank me. In fact, don't thank me. You're dead. We don't allow freaks like you to live. Patient. Well, if I'm going to die, could you please donate my kidneys to someone else? Doctor, I'm not going to touch your kidneys. They can rot for all I care. Get the fuck out of here. Patient, what about my brain? Can you put my brain in another person's body? Doctor, if I wasn't going to touch your kidneys, why would I touch your brain? If I put your brain in someone else's body, you just stand there all day looking in the mirror with no clothes on. Patient, tell me now. Room 1.4. One of the jobs of theatre, and like art in general, is that like at the beginning of this hospital there's all this normal stuff going on. By the time you get to room, like one of the later rooms, you know, very distant in the hospital, there's some weird places beyond the realm of human comprehension. And that's one of the jobs of art, is to bring you to those places. But I'm not going to do that today. Room 1.4. Chicken man. So this guy's a chicken man. Sitting. Doctor bursts into the room, sees chicken man. Another pervert, eh? You're dead. You think you're in a hospital, but you're not. I'm a vet, and I'm going to eat you. With sauce. Chicken man, patient. What? No. I won't let you eat me. I can't stop you physically, but I can stop you psychologically. I am a conscious being. By killing me, you'll be killing or eating a conscious being, like a chicken or an octopus. Doctor, I'll gladly eat a chicken or an octopus. I'd even eat a weird monkey like that one from Russia. Chicken man. Flesh is only tender and delicious and relaxed animals, so I'm going to stress myself out and flood my flesh with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Okay, here I go. So then the chicken man starts thinking of all these really stressful things. My mother is sad. I have to do the leaving cert next week. I hope Elizabeth Bishop doesn't come up with the leaving cert this year. She came up last year in one of those mixed questions. My leg hurts. My dad is sad. Doctor, oh no. Repulsive, disgusting. Get the hell out of here. And then the chicken flies out of the room due to an open door policy. The camera follows the chicken in a graceful arc. In the sky behind the chicken, you can see all these angels. Chicken roams the halls. The camera leaves the chicken because the chicken goes in to buy some sweets and the camera can't eat sweets. So it goes into another room. This room's a good one. Interior baby room. So this is where all the babies are. And I think a lot of people feel about babies is that they don't have their own personalities, you know what I mean? And I think until you have your own, or until someone tells you, you can't really appreciate that. So what I've done here is I've given each of these 3 babies a unique personality trait. Based on the theory of the 4 humors. Do you know what that is? Sanguine, phlegmatic, choleric, melancholic. Whatever that means. So, baby number 1, depressive. Baby number 2, shits himself. Baby number 3 is the main character. So they're all sitting around in these cots. And the depressed one is smoking a spliff. Pope baby. This is the main character. Pope baby. Hi. The one with digestive problems. Hi. Depressive. Hi. How do you feel about life? I've been here for 45 minutes and I don't know how to feel about it. The other one. Maybe it's your diet. Try eating more fermented foods. Depressive. No. And that's the thing with depressed people. Sometimes you try to give them advice and they're just very narky about it. No, I don't think that's it. I'm dying. Goodbye. Ghost baby. I am a ghost now. There slides out the window. Pope baby. Do you think that's going to happen to us? Other baby. No. I heard the doctor say that he was a clone. He was only ever going to live 45 minutes. And he ruined that time with his relentless pessimism. Pope baby, I'm glad he's dead. Ghost baby slides back into the room. Aha. I heard what you said, and I didn't like it. Now that baby 1, not what baby 1 said, that was unpleasant but understandable. I could have been nicer to him. I could have lived a more enjoyable life. But I didn't like what you said. As a ghost, I have the power to kill or curse you. I won't kill you, but I will curse you. Pope baby, what's the curse? Ghost baby, coiling. Oh, I'll never tell. Pope baby, the worst thing about this is that I'll never know. And you thought. So he's done with that point, moved on to another point. Where are my parents? Parents parade into the room looking fresh-faced and young. They pick up Pope Urban II as a baby. This bit's tough, you know what I mean? There's like parents, there's these babies who are sick, there's a lot of emotion going on. So I've introduced like a little bit of fun in the middle to lighten the tone. Parents, we love you. Are you cursed? We don't know. We can't know. We were out of the room. God's not real. We are reading a book about that. God's not real. Suffering is real, but God's not real. I remember figuring that out when I was very young and lovesick, but I figured it out even more since the 45 seconds I've known you. If I could do anything now to make sure you were going to live a life that was free from pain, I would. Even if I couldn't, I would. I would never inflict pain needlessly upon you. And then all these minions come in, and they're dabbing. That's a dance move. And then they leave again. And then the parent pinches the baby on his fat arm. You feel that? God's not real. I won't protect you from all pain because your body needs scars to stay stitched together. Second parent. But if God was real, he could make a world without pain because we're supposed to be his children. If I was God, parent, stop talking. It doesn't matter. We won't be here forever. In fact, we won't even be here for very long. We're dying. That ghost baby cursed us, and now we're going to die. And you're coming with us. Enter Father Jameen, stage left. Jameen, good night, my sweet friends. You weren't meant long for this world. You specifically. End of Act 1, now it's on to Act 2, which is a B plot, right? The point of a B plot is sometimes you get bored with the main character, you know? So it's basically like, I've had enough of Chandler, what's up with Phoebe? So don't expect the Pope to be in this one, just forget about him for the moment. It's a bit of a respite. Act 2, Hyperbrains and Kulak. Interior vat. There are 3 robo-brains lying in a vat in Lusk, near Swords. They are in a hyper-advanced compound monitored by super-intelligent AI. They are living out a digital eternity in these vats because they want to live forever, but they're in a big compound because they're afraid of the working class. There are 3 algorithms in the AI that look after the place. They have personalities and are fun. So I've sort of come up with personalities. Algorithm 1, Fenian. Algorithm 2, Protestant. Algorithm 3, Sundare. I don't know this word. Does anyone here speak Japanese? It's a Japanese term?
Sundere.
What?
Sundere. T-S-U-N-D-R-E.
I'm never going to get that. Sundare. No one else in the entire run of this show spoke Japanese. Finally. I always thought my audience should speak Japanese. Sundere Avenue. This one's an interesting one. It's very cruel. It's very mean. And you sort of think, oh, after a while it's going to warm up to you a bit. But it doesn't. It's just always mean and always cruel. So the brain bodies come to Swords just before they die. Then they die. But before decomposition, their brains are taken out of their bodies and they're put into these busts that look like Peter Capaldi. They're lowered into vats of sugar gun, that's a slight sedative, and they have these microchip inserts into their brain that simulates emotions. But they're sort of cranked up to 10, so they're very neurotic. Layout. So here's what you should be visualizing when you're watching this show. The 3 brains live in 3 vats and they're connected by Google Fiber so they can talk and project dream sequences. The dream sequences are psychedelic and don't tell you anything about the characters themselves. The brains do a lot of dreaming. What happens is they're all lonely, so they start dreaming. And then because they're always dreaming, they never stop, so they're always alone. But every so often they all cycle up and they're awake at the same time. The 3 AIs live in a little MacBook Air on the other side of the room. So this whole thing is quite small. It's really only the size of 3 brains in a MacBook Air. The 3 AIs live in a little MacBook Air on the other side of the room. They service the robo-brains by downloading themselves into robo-snakes. There's a little fax machine on the robo-printer at the side of each tank that allows the brains to talk to the snakes. So it's a bit like Downton Abbey, if you think about it. It's a bit of an upstairs, downstairs going on. The brains sit around talking about art and current affairs. Their personalities are a bit less distinct in the algorithms because they've no hormones or glands. So here's one of their conversations. The brains are called brains 1, 2, and 3. 1. It's funny how much Kanye West loves himself. 2. No one loves Kanye like Kanye loves Kanye. You should love yourself like Kanye loves Kanye. 1. I like some of his music, but he lost more respect from me by how arrogant he acts, particularly towards Taylor Swift. 3. I think he's an imbecile. 1. Oh, I don't think you should say that. That's very offensive. 3. My sense of humour is nothing is off limits. It's very offensive. I see the world much more cynically. I've always said this here, and I'll say it again. People confuse a joke with an insult. Also, optimistic people are stupid in general. They are threatened by my cynical worldview and how dark it is. 2. I agree. But it really depends on your audience. I would never presume to tell people what they can and can't joke about. It's all free speech. It comes with responsibilities. But if you tell a racist joke, for example, we should be treated as a racist and prosecuted if aptly wrong. If the joke is racist enough, sure, but what separates insults from jokes, really? 3. You think people should be prosecuted for insults? What country are you from, by the way? I believe strongly in freedom of speech, and it is quite difficult to prosecute someone for saying something offensive. What if you yell, "You bastard," at an actual bastard? Using your logic, I should be thrown in jail and have my head cut off. Throwing individuals in jail for being racist is a slippery slope. 2. That's my point of view. I hope you take it that way. 3. They should never have boundaries. Humour is, personally, commentary on life. Life has no boundaries. No matter how crass, brutal, or insensitive it may be. It is a double-edged sword, and I'd rather have my head cut off than not have to deal with it. 1. In my advice, calm down. Humour is subjective. Like everything else, nothing is universally funny or objectively funny. Therefore, its boundaries are entirely subjectively existent, or objectively speaking, those boundaries don't exist. In my advice, I like to subscribe to the Trey Parker, Matt Stone, South Park school of thought when it comes to humour. That is to say, it's all okay. My advice is to say, in my advice, they are true supporters of real social equality. 2. Agreed. So over the course of this act, we follow the brains going through a week of their life. Monday to Saturday. We'll take Sunday off. Monday. The vat has been open for 1,000 years. So we all clear the characters. 3 brains, 3 algorithms. Monday. The vat has been open for 1,000 years. All these leaves fell into the vats, and now the brains are weird. Now that the place is up and running, new social dynamics have emerged between the brains and the algorithms. The brains are the brains of American.com millionaires from the 90s. Tuesday. The brains are all waiting for their friend, Brain 4, to come and join them. They're excited, but also a bit bored. Also, when this brain, Brain 4, comes, one of them can leave their vat and get fitted into a robot dog body that is very desirable. On his way over, Brain 4 falls out and a dog eats him. Brain 1 is very upset because he loves dogs and loves Brain 4. So what the feeding algorithm does here is he comes over and he cuts out the bit of the brain that remembers Brain 4, but then he leaves in the bit of the brain that makes the brain feel sad. And then he sort of nurtures this unhealthy, codependent relationship between the two. Wednesday, Rasta Brain arrives. Rasta Brain is Brain 1's old roommate from college, who's now very attractive. Brain 1 is in love with feeding algorithm, but doesn't like it so much. He doesn't like being in love. A love triangle is formed. Brain 2 also fancies Rasta Brain. Sundray algorithm is in love with Brain 2. Thursday, Sundray algorithm gets into its nicest snake suit with a bow on its head and goes to visit Brain 2. Single and easy to mingle. It goes and stands at the vat and pours bleach into it. I hate you. I want you to die. Don't speak to me. You're a dead man. You're a dead brain. And then it just stands there silently. Brain 2 is upset. but also flattered by the attention. It is happy that Sunday algorithm remembered that I was into this sort of thing. 2 months later, they get married despite the fact that they're cousins. Friday, Rasta Brain convinces everyone to invest in Bitcoin, and then it crashes. Because obviously it's going to crash. It's a currency that's not backed by a state. The VAT looks like it's going to close down. They get it together and invest wisely, and then it stays open. After this brief foray, all social barriers have been broken down. All the characters move into one tiny vat. Eventually they become one hyper-intelligent hive mind and a semi-state body, the hyperbrain of Truman. Third act. What time is it? Can I have the lights on? Thank you. This is an improvised bit. So we go back to the first plot, where you have the Pope baby, who's now 18 years old. And he's been living with his parents in this grave for the longest time. And now he's 18 years old. And the thing is, they're Americans, you know? And, you know, in Ireland, you're allowed to stay at home as long as you want. You can stay at home until you're 60, you know? But in America, they have this weird, they overvalue independence. You know what I mean? It's like, you're 18 years old, you gotta go make your own way. So they kick him out. It's not like here. Here it's a bit more safe, isn't it? You know, you can live at home right early. And then he's like, oh, I've got to get out of here. He realizes he's in this 3-story building, right? It's on the ground floor, so they call it the first floor. But really it's the ground floor, it's just in the ground. He's in a grave, and he breaks through the first one, and then he's in this old mausoleum, right? And the hyperbrain of Kulan is there. And he's a pope. And then the brain dies or something. And then all these bishops come and they come in to elect a new pope. But they die as well. They're in a bus together. And it crashes, it explodes. And it's another moral, you know what I mean? It's another moral. It's never travel in the same car as your friends. And then all these new guys come along. And they're like younger bishops, and they are evil, you know? The old ones are bad, but these ones are evil. And then they die as well, for unknown reasons. And then the Pope, you know, this guy, the main character, he's Pope now. So all alone in this mausoleum, and he's like, what do I do? And he goes up in the lift to the 3rd floor, and he's in the papal apartments, right, in Rome. And he sees the pulpit, and he goes out, and he makes his first speech as Pope.
Doctor this morning actually, and I asked him am I going to die, and he said, we're all going to die someday. I like that. It's not a cheery way to start a show, but I like it, you know. Hi, my name is Dick Walsh, and I'm going to be Pope Urban II tonight, and we're all going to die someday. First thing I want to do is I want to give you all individually a nice back rub. Okay? 14 euros. Thanks very much. You know, I feel bad for charging me that much money. What's going on? I feel, if my voice actually can be like this. I like this though. Gives me power. It's gone. Anyway, thanks very much for coming. It feels good to roll in this room with a mic that was off and comes back on. And yeah, you know, and like, also, it's not going to make you rich, okay, let's be clear about that. I mean, but the alternative in my situation was I was going to end up in an apartment in the south of Belfast, you know, for the cheap rent. I don't know, getting bombed by the UVF or whatever. So, God bless you all, and TYVN. Second thing is, it's good, but how long is it going to be good for? You know, I'm getting old, and you know, the older you get, the more you start thinking about things going wrong. So, like, kids, kids don't think about things going wrong. That's why they watch cartoons. There's no confidence, no consequences, it's not violent, you know. And then you get to our age, and we like to watch the news, because it's like real stories, complexity, and all that, you know. And then old people don't even watch TV. All old people do is watch for their friends' names in the death notices. I swear to God, my parents, right? My folks wouldn't even have got the broadband if it hadn't been for RIP.ie. If Netflix was going to stream local funerals, they'd be on that shit like a shot. But I think that's just us Irish, you know, as a country, we're kind of obsessed with that, you know what I mean? Like our great writers. I'm going to go back to a second, hang on. Hello? Can you hear me? It's the second mic. Huh? Thinking on the spot. This is broken. This works. Oh yeah. Can't throw it away. Okay, so we're back to something about, what was I saying last time? You were listening to me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Irish, obsessed with that, you know? All our great writers like Joyce, Beckett, Tommy Tiernan, you know? Even the start of our nation was a blood sacrifice, you know? So we like that, but we don't like illness. We don't like decay. We don't like sickness. And that's why I didn't go visit my friend when he was in hospital recently. Yeah, I didn't go see him in hospital, but I did go to his funeral. So I went to the doctor the other day. Yeah, I kind of went because I had a breakup recently, and no sympathy from the audience. So I kind of feel when you have a breakup, yeah, you sort of want to look better, you sort of want to do a bit of exercise, you start to look better and all that, you know. But I guess I'm getting old, and I'm a bit diseased. Yeah, I'm a bit diseased, yeah. So I want to look better, but I don't want to ruin myself either, you know what I mean? So don't worry, I'm not going to wreck your guys' nights yet, I'm not going to get all heavy or anything. But I got fucked up bones, you know? That's the official diagnosis. Doctor took one look at me and said, this kid, he's got fucked up bones. But he's funny. Or maybe funny. But maybe funny to some people. Yahoo! So anyway, I had to fly over to see this doctor, yeah? And he's a special, very special doctor for fucked up bones, MD. And he's in Cambridge. Ah, you didn't think of that. He thought it was a doctor in Dublin. He's actually a doctor in Cambridge, which means that he's a doctor who's gone to college. And anyway, so he's an eyes and bones doctor. So yeah, I got fucked up eyes as well. So not too bad. Yeah, actually, I had this really cool operation when I was 12 by this doctor, and he put these really cold rods into the back of my eyeballs, and they froze my retina so much that I swelled up and I looked like George Hooker. Why did my daughter want an abortion? Yeah, anyway, short-sighted, a little bit blind, you know. Hey, why is that the one handicap you could take the piss out of? You know? People grab the glasses off me, they're like, fucking hell, man, dick, like you're blind, like you're fucking twice times you know, bullshit, like, you know. Like, you don't go up and you want to hoof somebody out of a wheelchair and be like, fucking hell, Dick, you're crippled, you're fucked, you know. Or go up to somebody and rip their calendar off when they're in hospital and be like, are you pissing yourself? Or am I taking the piss out of you? You know? Well, you don't do that, man, because it's not cool. It's not good. It's not a nice thing to do, you know. I remember once when I was in hospital in England and this nurse stood on my catheter, and that's when I know how a catheter works. Okay, does anyone know how a catheter works? Basically, nobody. Oh, you do. Basically, it goes up through your, you know, kind of goes up, and you've all these sphincter muscles, so they all like reject this, and it goes all the way up inside you. But then when it gets inside your bladder, it has a little balloon that inflates inside you, yeah? So if a nurse in England comes along and steps on your catheter, it doesn't exactly slide out gently, huh? It's more like pulling a Mac and orange out through a hose. But this doctor, anyway, he's a pretty normal looking guy in every respect, you know, he's a pretty average looking guy. The one thing I noticed straight away about him though, was he had the ugliest glasses I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God, man, they were like, I was like, oh, you look at that, oh man, where do you get those glasses? They're bloody awful, like really bad. I don't judge people on appearances, but if they work in the eye industry, you know, it's certainly something to think about. So I go in and he looks back at me with these big jam jars on his face, like something out of 2 Ronnies. And I'm like, are you okay? Are you blind? Are you going to make me blind? But, no, I mean, I don't want a doctor who's too into his appearance either as well. I mean, you don't want like Orlando Bloom coming in the door, do you know? Or bloody Paul Gallen or something, you know? Like, sorry, Dick, but I couldn't bring stethoscopes today, you know? Couldn't fit my skinny jeans, like, you know? But, yeah, so this other doctor, just to explain my point, he was a doctor for pain management. And he was the most painful looking man I ever saw in my life. I swear to God, his face was like an infected raspberry. And but the nurse said, actually, he's really good at his job because he works really hard and he puts in like a lot of long hours and all that. So I guess even though he himself is going to die an incredibly painful death, he's pretty good at pain management. So when I saw this guy's glasses, in a way I was kind of reassured. He wasn't like, you know, he was spending his time trying to do his best job and thinking about his patients and not like online looking at Tom Ford glasses or whatever, you know. But anyway, first thing he says to me is, jizz into this cup. No jokes, that's honest truth. Jizz into this cup, you know. I'm about to run away when I hear this. I mean, like, first of all, I have to go all the way over to England, which is like strike one, obviously. Then he's got his stupid glasses, strike two. And now he's actually asking me to jizz into a cup. What cup? His cup. Is this some sort of BDSM sex cauldron or something, you know? I read about these guys on the internet. But anyway, he must have seen the confusion on my face. So he's like, you know, he's kind of starts to mumble something, but he's got this really thick English accent, you know? And I can't understand what he says, but I just hear the words, it's for kids. You know? Now, I'm a 29-year-old white male, yeah? I'm a big guy, but I'm not 30. I'm just a young guy in my 20s, and I do not want to be involved, or have anyone involve me in anything that puts the words kids and jizz in the same sentence. You know what I mean? I made a mess really special, and they were, you know, they would take care of it. Anyway, well, I'm just joking. The thing is it's a really advanced genetic test that can tell you how your health is going to turn out, how fucked up I'm going to be, and two, how fucked up your kids is going to be, yeah? So, the first one is obviously bad, yeah? I mean, you don't want to be eating a chicken sandwich roll and find out the other end has been dipped in dog shit, yeah? It's kind of like, okay, imagine you're out there on a Sunday afternoon, you're meeting up with your mates, yeah? Having a lovely day, you're going to watch the football, and you're getting in a rake of pints, the sun is shining, and you're really looking forward to a lovely day with your friends, yeah? And then one of your mates comes up to you and he goes, oh, I think, yeah, I really love hanging out with you, man, I love being your friend and all that, but at the end of the day, I'm going to kick the shit out of you. That would ruin your day. Like, you couldn't enjoy nice things, you know, knowing that anyone's going to do that, you know? Or put it another way, like for the second one, for your kids, you know, imagine if he comes up to you and goes, yeah, Dick, I don't know why I'm friends with Dave Beckham, but anyway, he's a bad dude. And he goes, yeah, Dick, listen, really enjoy the day, but if you ever have a kid, I'm going to kick the shit out of that kid, and I'm going to kick the shit out of that kid every day of his life. You know? I mean, that would really fuck with your head, you know, you really start thinking about things, would you? Like, you'd be like, fuck, I don't know, like, will I even have a kid? Yeah? Or maybe I'll go over to England and kill Dave Beckham. Or maybe kill Alex Ferguson for making him into such a great, wonderful footballer, or posh, or whatever. That's maybe stretching it too far. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm really starting to think about my life these days. About, like, what's my health going to be like? Will it be good? Will I be sick? Will my kids, if I have kids, will they be sick? You know? I guess it all kind of boils down to, like, who knew that jizzing into a cup in front of a strange English guy was going to cause so much trouble? So, thanks very much. It's been a great audience. Thanks for your attention. I've been Dick Walsh.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.